Hey, what's up, my Woken people? This is me, Woken Joe. I just want to take this time to say thank you, everybody on Facebook and YouTube that's showing all the love and support. Um, as you guys know, my grandpa passed away, and the family is hanging in there. I'm hanging in there. Uh, there was a lot of things I had said, and there was a lot of things that you guys didn't get to hear prior because I had my speech, I wrote it, and a lot of the people that were going up before me was pretty much said like maybe 35% of what I was going to say within the 100% of what I wrote. But what I talked about was what my grandpa talked to me about every day, every time he would pick me up, every time he would spend time, with me, and when we would watch wrestling, when we would watch Three Stooges and movies, and I always questioned my grandpa, and he always gave me the answer, and he was a strong man of faith. He showed me a lot of things, and a lot of them, a lot of things that he showed me. I would always remember him. Always having love for my grandma, always backing up my grandma, even if she was wrong. He would tell her later. And he always did what he can to make my grandma happy, and I learned that from him, how to treat a woman. You know, Another thing is, of course, what I talked about is faith. Boy, my grandparents had faith. Oh yeah, they're faithful people. They love God with everything. They didn't care if they're broke. They only had $2, and they still had like 2 weeks to go before they can get food stamps or whatever. Or if I could, so I could give it to them. Like it was unbelievable. I remember living with them, and it was real hard at the time. And I was going to school, and all we were eating for like a good 2 3 months was nothing but beans. And I remember those days, and my grandma and grandpa always stood humble. They appreciated life. They appreciated what God gave them and what God had given them. And I will never forget that. My grandma and grandpa were real superheroes to me, and I'm never going to forget them. Now that my grandpa's gone, he's reunited with my grandma upstairs, and I'm going to miss him. There's a lot of things that I wish they were able to see before they had went, but you know I'm able to learn from them, and now I can live my life knowing that my grandma and grandpa laid the foundation of a guide of what to do in life. And you know it doesn't mean that they didn't want to give up. They didn't mean that they you know worried, because I'm pretty sure they did in the flesh side of them, but spiritually they didn't care. I know what I have to do by seeing them and all that, but I also gotta believe, and I do believe. And like I said, everything that my grandparents taught me, I'm never gonna forget. And the ones that do know me, and personally, that knew my grandparents, I know they touched you too. And I just want to thank you guys again. And the next video I'm gonna do is pretty much what I talked about in my grandpa's funeral, but I want to try to make it like a motivational speech. And but it'll pretty much be the same thing. But I hope you guys get to understand what I was trying to say, because like I said, a lot of it, a lot of my speech I had to cut out. So I wanted to try to do the whole thing, and I hope you guys like it. But like and comment, and hope you guys have a good night and have a blessed day tomorrow. Later.